like that. See, Ron's in here giving you grief, Moan.
This guy never okay. Just tunes in only to his job, and he's texting me while also talking trash to me.
Yeah, you see how that goes. Ron Slay, Ramon's brother, is in here letting them know he's a little late. It's usually me that's late. Today was Moan. I don't know who won the money today.
DK, they're gonna let us know who won it. That's for doggone sure, man. Is they look at that. Matthew Bunk, 405. Golly.
My goodness. Are we ready to start this?
We're ready to start. I think my bill will have a good echo today. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
And welcome to the Ramon Foster Show and what we're going to be calling Rapidfire Friday on a regular basis here.
Yeah.
When we get to the Hey Moan segment today, which I'm pretty sure is the only segment that matters anyway.
Only segment they care about.
It's going to be like this. You know?
Yes. Quick answers and quick questions. How about that, DK? That way we can get everybody in on
I don't
Friday.
have a problem. I mean, you know what? We could cheat.
They are, but it's funny. They're going right down to the doggone seconds, man. Trey Dog said 4:04 and 58 seconds. I guess the over-under was 4:05. Is that what we're getting out of this, DK?
I don't know.
Oh, my gosh.
Everybody can relax a little bit. It's not that big a deal, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey,
but what we can talk about for our brief opening segment today, what we can talk about is the importance of punctuality in the football culture, ironically. Okay.
In what aspect, DK? What we're talking about?
You tell me. Who was the policeman in your outfit as to who would be late or early or whatever in the offensive line room?
In the offensive line room?
It was 5 minutes early? Is that the rule?
Just no, for our room, it was really just be there before the door closed for the most part. I know some organizations put that, hey, 5 minutes early is on time. We never really subscribed to that in Pittsburgh because this was Coach Tomlin's thing. If we got to talk about non-football issues, then we're not talking and planning for football games and for us getting better. So the small stuff we didn't really harp on. I know some organizations do and did. The most notorious one I've kind of heard of was Coughlin. I think that was his 5 minutes early. 5 minutes early is actually being on time. Anything less than that is you're late.
Yeah, he was a weird dude, though.
He was. And in that era of like his coaching style of where football was, it was, foul, get in line type of situations. It worked a little bit. I know some guys that went there as free agents or, got traded there. And they were just like, man, we're out here talking about sock height, what type of shirts and shorts we have on. As long as it's like team issue stuff, we should be good. Like it adds an added pressure to the actual job of playing football when it's already tough enough. So we didn't really do that in Pittsburgh.
Huh. So you were treated like grown-ups?
Yeah, exactly. but don't say that, okay, because then you turn into a player's coach when you say that type of stuff, DK.
Oh, I see how it goes. Well, in general, though, was punctuality a problem for anybody? Was there anybody who was like late?
It wasn't a problem because we didn't make it a big issue. It really came down to,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, just be a job. Like if somebody was late, you know what Coach T would do? Hey, that's a fine. Let's move on. It wasn't even a discussion. It was just like, I have the power to get a monetary transaction from you. So because of that, I have that power. I'll use that power if you abuse my freedom I give you. It was
what was the fine?
Quick 1,500. Just showing up. Like, that's 1,500 on top of the head. Bang, let's go. Move on.
You left that out.
It was 1,500. Like, all right, you late? Okay, cool. And what's crazy, there is flexibility, I think, in our contracts as far as it goes. That like you can charge potentially by the minute. Weight sometimes is by the pound. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a certain freedom that coaches and management get when you start talking about that type of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah,
I did not see 1,500 coming.
1,500 for being a minute late, and they can pile on from there. So there is a good bit of pressure to just do your job. Like, and it was kind of relaxed in the sense of just, hey, we really have no issues with those types of things. Plus, we were mostly a veteran-led team for the most part, right? So guys kind of police themselves. Like you'd have myself or Marquise saying, hey, young fellas, let's be there and sit up front. Or you have Cam or somebody like Ryan Clark that, is just understanding from the young guys. Like, hey, just do y'all job so we don't have to hear Coach Mouth. Like, it really was that aspect of it too, DK.
Well, where'd the money go? That's what Rick Dilliard wants to know.
Where did the money go? Charity.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, charity. Whenever we got fined in our meetings too, that money went to charity, or at the end of the year, it went to Kevin and his cook staff, or to our janitorial folks downstairs, and to the trainers, because their salary is way below ours. And I see some people saying $1,500. Like I see our guy right here, Swan 269, saying, "Well, I wish $1,500 was quick for me too." And that's true. That $1,500 for us would be, just a bonus for, the training room, equipment staff, cooks, custodians, front office clerks, and stuff like that. So that went a long way around Christmas time too.
It's funny how these people who are the support staff for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and actually all three of Pittsburgh's teams, that the appreciation that they get shown internally is hard to quantify. It is because it's legitimate, because they're doing it from the heart. Okay. Your chef over at on the south side, he's a subscriber to our site. He sees me come in, he treats me like I'm one of you guys, which is crazy because I sure as hell am not. Okay?
Because
it's just because he has a passion for his job. He takes pride in it.
And like you are a part of the team. You do prepare our meals or get us ready for practice. You do clean up after us. Somebody asked a question the other day, I've ever seen Coach T rip somebody on the field? No. One of the biggest rips I've ever seen him give somebody was being disrespectful in the trainer room and being inside of the locker room, or leaving towels, soggy towels in the showers. Oh, I've never seen him, because that's what do you usually say? Common human decency. You got to at least be a good human to the folks that are serving you. And he was big on that, DK.
Yeah, there's no disrespect that I've ever laid eyes on, not in the Steelers room, where you see somebody just showing up, somebody who, you're just minimum wage this or whatever else,
And that goes a long way too. Like I said, if it's down to football stuff, let me find you real quick, because that's the biggest thing I can get from him is hit your pockets. It's where he gets you. But when it came down to respect, just being a good person inside of the building, there was zero toleration for that. You probably get cut if you went too far on something like that.
Guys, we're going to get serious about Rapid Fire Friday, and we're going to do that right after we acknowledge again that it's the only segment that matters.
That's Ramon.
At DK Pittsburgh Sports, we take pride in coverage that connects our city's fans to their favorite teams. Now, that connection's stronger than ever. Introducing our all-new state-of-the-art app. Find expert inside reporting and original podcasts. Check live box scores. Track the latest stats. Chat it up with our community of thousands of fans, all in one place. The new app from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Coverage that connects.
Moan, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but at the Get-Go Cafe and Market, quality is at the core of every menu item. They have 3 expert chefs. 3. Who fine-tune every detail so that every sub, burger, salad, wrap, drink, and app is crafted for what they uniquely refer to as craveability. Order your favorite entry at the Get-Go Cafe and Market today. Better believe it. And I'm gonna share with you guys on a more off the script note here is that there is a Get-Go Cafe and Market near St. Vincent College. There is one in Latrobe that's expanded. It used to be just gas, and now it's the full deal. By all means, check it out. Okay, either on your way or on your way out of the facility, because what happens is, you want food that can kind of hold up.
Yeah.
One thing they do not have at St. Vincent College is It's not it's not a food thing. Okay.
No.
Don't go there thinking, hey, let's just go out to the hot dog stand. Okay. You're there for the football. So if you want to get food, do it out there in Latrobe.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, DK.
We're going to get started again. Rapid Fire Friday. It's going to be, don't be asking like, hey, Moan, what about your whole life? Come up with something like Robert Cotting. Hey, Moan, what is your favorite scripture in the Bible?
Philippians 4:13. That simple. It's a sports verse, and it's also just a life verse too. That right there is my favorite one. I learned it in football, and I think it was honestly.
Aaron Watt says, hey, Moan, do you have a personal or favorite charity yourself?
I don't. Personally, I don't. I'll back other folks that do theirs, but not necessarily my own, because it does take a lot of work and groundwork to sustain having a charity too, and everything's got to be above board too with the legal.
Yeah, that's a bigger deal than most people might realize when doing that. Leverage says, hey, Moan, what would you consider to be a successful season for the Steelers in 2023?
I start this one because I like this one. Because what is success? There's only one team that's going to win the Super Bowl. So the team that lost it, is that not successful?
Mm-hmm.
This is, and the scenarios of the season too, how it worked out. Let's say Kenny lost 3 players as starters on his team, but Kenny also has like 4,400 yards passing or something like that's still a successful season because your quarterback grew. I don't want to get into numbers. Really, I expect this team to do certain stuff, but to say what success could be 1 or 2 or 3 players taking big steps, and you still just teeter 9-7. I hate to say that, but golly, that sounds dirty saying, or 10-7.
I've got one playoff win.
Yeah.
Not get there. Win a playoff game. Michael Patrick McCracken comes in with a $5 contribution. That's appreciated. Asking me, are there any other cities that are lucky enough to be like us and to get info daily about their teams, like the Daily Shot podcast that I do and so forth? It's funny. We were just having a conversation here at the HQ right before this show aired about what an outlier Pittsburgh is in a lot of ways. I don't ever pretend that our company succeeded without the significant help of Pittsburgh being a complete freak of a city when it comes to sports. So my answer to that is, if there is, good luck to them. Yeah,
definitely. I can't name one off top. Not even the New York teams. I almost Boston, maybe. Buffalo.
Boston would be up there. Buffalo's too small.
Maybe not even Atlanta. They got
St.
other
Louis
interests.
is a good sports city.
No,
they've only got the 2 teams, and now
they
they've lost they lost the Rams. It wasn't really their fault, but
you got to look at a mid-market team to kind of have that type of stuff. I think that Nashville does, but it's only 2 pro teams though too.
That's right. Jim Fairfield says, well, they're trying to get baseball. Jim Fairfield says, hey, Moan, who was the toughest coach that you had as a pro?
Rookie year, Larry Zerline. Not even close.
Why do you say that?
He was good for me, but boy, he was hard on rookies. They had just come off the friggin' Super Bowl. Like us snot-nosed rookies, me and Craig Urbick.
You were wasting his
Oh,
time.
my gosh. One of his most quotable quotes he had, and Willie Colon tells it to this day. He was talking to me and Craig Urbick. He was like, you know what you know, Ramon? Nothing. And Craig, you know even less than that. I was just like, dang. And the vets just bust out laughing, but he rolled us, man. But it was good for both of us in our careers, though.
Sticky B wants to know, hey, Moan, what was the best and worst ride that you rolled into Latrobe in?
Best and worst ride?
Come down that one road. You're going to get attention?
Yeah. No, I didn't ever go
to the hill.
No, not that one. I would have to say it's probably my 2009 Pontiac Bonneville. I came to camp in. That was my car from college for a while. Best vehicle I ever rolled into camp in, probably my F-250 truck. It don't get much more better than that to me.
It is Rapid Fire Friday on the Ramon Foster Show, and Luke comes in with, hey, Moan, did you ever try any long snapping? I don't know the answer to this.
No, never. That is a hard deal. I don't know if y'all ever tried to throw a ball. I'm not sure how fast they go in between your legs on a spiral at a spot on the ground and not let it skip. That's a whole lot tougher than you think. Center is bad too, but long snapping, DK, you ever gave it a spin?
No, I watched Debo do it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you did.
Debo thought he was good at it.
Bad.
And he wasn't.
Bad. Then real quick too, that is one of those positions that get rotated around, kind of like running back, by the way, too. As soon as you get a certain age and you can't run down the field on punt, ooh, you are out of there.
Gus Branch just became a member. We appreciate that. Anyone else who wants to become a member, go to dkps.net/join. We're going to put that up on the screen here for you in a little bit so you can see it for yourself. dkps.net/join. I have no idea what this means. Toddy wants to know, hey, Moan, do any Amish people follow the Steelers?
Do they have TVs? I think they have electricity.
They have electricity.
Yeah.
I'll just the Amish people. I'm just picturing the Weird Al video.
Yeah.
What was it called? Somebody help us out here. Amish Paradise.
Amish Paradise.
His version of was it Gangster
Paradise? With Coolio. Yep, absolutely.
It's the best Weird Al video of them all.
You know what's hilarious?
That's saying something. Get medieval on your hiney.
Matt Filer is from a very Amish part of I think Pennsylvania, or yeah, he's from that area, big time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Matt's actually seen him. Like he's had some weird stories about like how they kind of are perceived or whatever. Definitely.
Yeah, Ryan Lytle says too. No electricity, off the grid.
Hey,
turning the butter.
And building swing sets.
I think it was churning the butter.
Yeah, it's churning.
Yeah. Turning the butter makes no sense. It's just churning.
What are we doing, man?
Rich Horner claims to have inside information that the Amish follow baseball. What does that even mean? Like, how would you know that?
How do we even know that, Rich? Amish off the grid.
Okay, we're losing our
We are.
Our rapid fire.
No, this is
Friday.
more like a history lesson right now.
Bob Schreiner wants to know, guys, how many sacks do you think the Steelers will have this year? We touched on this yesterday, Bob.
Yesterday.
Didn't we end up with like 148?
Yeah, I think it was 242 is the number. But we were asked about TJ and Alex, and I said 13 for Alex would be good, and I say 18 for TJ would be killing it again. Those are the two I'm worried about, because to say a blitz is going to get home, or hey, how many blitzes earn sacks is a lot, although we are known as Blitzburg.
That's correct. Jax Flex says, hey, Moan, any memories of a player showing up, just flat out showing up out of shape?
We had a scenario or two. I've seen a wide receiver and I've seen a linebacker on a condition test. And I always tell you guys, and it's so true, the condition test ain't hard. I'm not sure if it's anxiety that get those guys or just they're going too fast. But only way you can tell a player is out of shape is if they fail that test. And I've seen that happen a couple times where guys are just cannot pace themselves, DK.
One thing Dolly wanted me to mention to everybody today is that we had a bunch of gift memberships, and some of them are still sitting there unclaimed. Make sure that you have it. I guess it's either checked or unchecked or something on YouTube.
Absolutely.
To make sure that you can accept gifts, that you're set for that here. Brady wants to know, hey, Moan, will George Pickens have a Chase Claypool-like second season? Ow. Please tell us no.
And I'm guessing that's a sophomore slump. Chase came in very hot, man, as far as his career. And I'm not sure if he got pulled in certain directions with how he was operating as a pro, but I'll tell anybody this, and I hope George Pickens, which we hadn't heard much from him this offseason, knock on wood, boy, because we need to just get him to camp. As long as he stay professional, keep his head down, and just roll with the punches, he's going to be fine. Guys having a bad year or slump, that ain't necessarily the worst thing. It's a matter of can you bounce through and what the scenarios look of you having a bad year. It can be a lot of things of why you had a bad year.
Carrie comes in with, hey, Moan, you ever have any day one nerves for training camp or the day before training camp? Did anybody around you?
Yeah, I did, just because the anxiety and pressure of performing in camp is always a thing. You know, am I good enough? It's always the question. I feel like every athlete will ask themselves that, which is why you go so hard, okay? But you don't really have any issues on the practice field the first couple of days because you're not in pads. I did feel that pressure, I guess, and nervousness the night before we did go in pads because it's such a physical sport that you just got to have your mind right. Once your mind and body is conditioned for it, you're good.
I love this. Dave says, hang on, having a hard time getting it up here. Here it is. This is the first time I've seen this show on a television, and my eyes are very wide. Yins are huge. Not in a bad way, but really different. You know, I think there's a lot of people that don't realize the different ways that you can see or just hear this show, including live. You can play the audio in your car. You can play it on your phone. You don't have to be watching us. We're not that entertaining visually, you know. But yes, there's a YouTube app available on any smart TV, and you can put us on there. Anytime as well here. Randy Wagner wants to know, who's your favorite journalist of all time?
DK.
Okay, come on.
DK.
What else?
No, seriously. Stuart Scott, journalist, right?
That's interesting.
Stuart Scott.
That's an interesting choice.
The flavor and swag that he had with him, too. I'll say this one, too. I don't think he's a journalist, but I like Louis Riddick. Very good.
I mean, look, once you cross that line, this goes for you, too. Once you cross that line, you're over there. Okay, Louis Riddick is really good at what he does. And just because Louis Riddick has sports executive pedigree, and is probably going to end up, in that spot, doesn't mean he's not media. I love the Stuart Scott choice, because I remember when Stu came along, at the very beginning, it was like, what's he doing? What's he doing? And guess what? Within a few years, everybody was doing it.
To this day, a lot of those people that are in that lane are doing those exact same things because of Stuart Scott. Definitely.
That's a very, very good choice here. And Ryan points out to RIP on Stuart Scott here. And Josh
I'll say this:
RC is very good. I'll tell you what, but no one is surprised by this.
Nope.
Not one person is surprised that Ryan Clark was able to hit it in the media.
No, and I'll say this: as RC's been able to do it the way he did, the way he's doing it right now, be a pro about it. I don't care if you're from the best school in the world for journalism. If you are a buzz punk about it, don't do it, please. Don't be an agitator. Just be good at it.
Darren Watt proceeds with our Rapid Fire Friday and says, "Hey, Moan, how many international stamps are in your passport?"
Surprisingly, not a ton. I'm probably under 20 because football took up the majority of my time traveling, and now, of course, having kids that are super busy too. That's the biggest thing I have going on right now.
20 is not exactly a low figure for most people.
It's under it though. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably closer to 12, if that many, because of.
Did you get any on the cruise just now?
No, because it was in it was over the boat, I think.
Everything's a little different when it's by sea.
It is. Yep, you're 100% correct.
Thomas Harper comes in as a new member. We appreciate that. DKPS.net/join is where to go to become one yourself here. Steelers Girl has a good one here. She says, "Hey, Moan, do we think Nick Herbig sees the field this season? I like that kid for some reason." Guess what, Steelers Girl? So does he.
I do too. I told you. When you mentioned having a rotation of 3 the other day with TJ and Alex, I was thinking of Nick. I'm a fan, but he's got to go prove it. And it really goes down to this right here, and this is barbaric, DK. But from my guy, Luke, he said who had the biggest hit at training camp and how loud was it? It really boils down to the backs on backers. For a guy like Nick Herbig, am I right?
It does.
Who had the loudest hit? Probably Bud or Rosie versus somebody on the other side of the ball. Roosevelt Nix will stick you. Him and Vince Williams. I think he had to tell him, y'all got to stop. It's over. We're good. But yeah, Nick Herbig has to shine in that event, and that's barbaric as heck to say, DK.
It is, but that it's football.
It is.
Tommy says, "Hey, Moan, what's your take on those LSU air-conditioned helmets?"
Won't last. I think it's cute. I think it's a great news article, but to charge up batteries and have guys out there with electrical components in their head that's not a microphone to tell them to play, I think it's gimmicky and will not last. I could be wrong, but I'm standing on that one.
Siobhan Grant says, "Hey, Moan, with all the roles that a guy like Connor Hayward can play on an offense, what would you say is his ceiling?"
That's the thing. You don't even need a ceiling for a guy like him. He's in a position, the more you can do, the longer you stay around. He has to be a jack of all trades because are you going to put him in front of Pat? Are you going to put him in front of anybody else that's position specific? No. He needs to be able to go out there in the offensive set, play special teams, and also be a guy to step up when necessary in the lead block. He doesn't have a ceiling is the way I look at it, and I don't think he would have an issue with that being the case.
Ryan Lytle wants to know, "Hey, Moan, who's going to be the biggest surprise in Latrobe?"
It could be the guy I just named, Nick Herbig.
It could be.
Simply because this is an outside linebacker team. And if you know what I mean, DK, and he goes out and shine, plus defenders, I feel like have a better jump on, developing themselves a little bit in football. I can see him being the guy, being one of the biggest surprises. And it's not a surprise he's a high draft pick, but to jump on the scene of whooping people's butt day in and day out, I can see that.
Toddy is ridiculous.
Oh, my.
Toddy wants to know who wins in a fight, Hines or AB. Can I try this one?
Please.
Okay. Hines. However, AB would then go get a gun or something. Okay. And then he would pretend that Hines is the punter and go and karate kick him or something else that's dirty. So the fight would just continue perpetually.
It would never end, but I'm taking AB because AB is a ball of muscle. I'd roll with that.
Hines, man. Hines is so, I don't know. We're talking about peak.
Hines, yeah, he was mean. I forget about that. I'm thinking about coaching sideline Hines.
Hines did stuff to the Ravens that hasn't been done by any other human.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because he's a wide receiver doesn't mean we forget that.
AB is just quick, though. I don't know how quick Hines is.
Oh,
I don't know. That's where you getting it. I don't know where.
Pete Hines had plenty of quickness. Look, I got some Hines coming here.
A bunch of Hines.
Look at this Hines. Brady believes that I have no chill today. It's just because of the gun reference. I got Hines. Look at all this. The Steelers girl thinks I'm in this. No.
Oh my gosh. Look at that right there. Hines would perfect him.
Hines would perfect him, but then AB would drop kick him.
Yeah, he would.
Like he's a Cleveland punter.
Can you imagine being a franchise having both of those guys?
There's a rule for Hines and not AB, says Josh.
That's very true.
Tube Dude says, hey, Moan, is it time to start looking to draft Cam's replacement?
If you're a smart organization, you start, yeah.
I thought it might have been this year.
I thought it was too, but Cam has not slowed down whatsoever. And I don't know when that is. And truthfully, it'll be good to have Cam in the fold to kind of train up a guy, even if he's back next year. I actually thought Cam was going to get an extension this year. So much of what my knowledge is, I guess, about what's what in this league.
Ron says, which rookie are you guys looking forward to seeing battle the most in training camp, Broderick Jones or Joey Porter Jr.?
Broderick Jones, for this reason right here. He's just so young. He's a super athlete, and I kind of want to see what that looks like from a high SEC team like Georgia to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a case study for guys being drafted out of Georgia somewhat. So I kind of want to see how it translates over on a defense-led team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, you know?
I do. Out of Broderick Jones or Joey Porter Jr., I'm going to take Darnell Washington.
Well, I know one-on-ones I'm expecting Darnell to win about 90% of them, though.
This is good here. Demond Brown wants to know, hey, Moan, is it possible to get Pouncey back on here during training camp?
He did. We got a lot more to go through for him. That would be a good thing. And possibly on the Players' Day Off. There's a part 2 that he and I didn't finish for sure.
All right. Hanover Fist wants to know who's the baddest on the sled.
Heath Miller, not even close.
Yeah, they should just be named the Heath Miller sleds.
It should. His punch, man. Earl, golly, had one of the hardest. He got some hard hands, and he took pride in that too.
I am going to give it up here, though, for a couple of guys who didn't necessarily start off great on the sleds. And that's your current veteran tight ends between Pat Freiermuth and Zach Gentry, especially Gentry. Yeah, I know you're laughing because you saw the coach would ride him constantly, but you know what? It worked.
He got it.
Mike Tomlin lived by these sleds. Actually, he'll do it again.
Yeah.
But man, him and Gentry. This is why I don't think Gentry's going to. When you talk about the tight end depth chart, no, Gentry might not make the team or whatever else. He's not going anywhere because they brought him up on the sleds.
I know, and he's also on the schedule release video. Like, y'all got to read the writing on the wall sometime. This also takes me back to the Gun Olszewski conversation you had that you said Coach Tomlin had with him.
Was great, yeah.
He rode Zach till he doesn't have to ride Zach anymore. But he also know now Zach Gentry is a pro about working, right? And that's all he was really telling Gunner during training camp, DK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Favorite Barber reminds everybody to give us a like. If you're not a member yet, come in at dkps.net/join. There you see it right there on your screen there. Robbie asks, why'd you call Heath Earl?
Y'all don't know, for real?
Go ahead.
Earl is his first name.
Yeah, he's Earl.
Earl Heath Miller. What I really call him is the Godfather. Now, you don't need to know that name right there, okay?
He actually got a lot of Godfather. That wasn't just from you.
Yeah. He's the Godfather. His first name is Earl. Yeah, no, Coach Tomlin will just yell out something, get him Earl. It's very fascinating.
Brandon Clark says, hey, Mona, DK, me and my 10-year-old are going to our first Steelers game in November against the Packers. What are some cool places in Pittsburgh for a kid to enjoy? You want me to get that one?
I'll tell him the Incline, Mount Washington Lookout, those two for sure.
I don't remember that.
Strip District. It's pretty cool. Downtown. When is that game actually, DK? It's if I'm not mistaken, if it's later in the year.
I think it's later. It's closer to Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Closer to Thanksgiving. Go see the holiday decorations around downtown. You can't. I sound like a Pittsburgher right now. I sound like I said downtown.
I like that. Yeah.
You hear that? Wow.
Yeah. Point State Park is a great place for a kid. Just let him run loose. Don't worry about it. Nothing but flat grass for a quarter of a mile. The big fountain, the world's tallest continuous running fountain down there at the end. There's also, there's Children's Museum. When you're 10 years old, the Children's Museum is cool. It's still kind of cool. You can go there. Also, the Carnegie Science Center, as she's chiming in here more than anything. It's right over next to Acrisure Stadium. A great place for a 10-year-old.
For pictures, the smokestacks in the waterfront.
There you go. That's way out in Homestead, but yeah,
that's Homestead.
Charlie Batch territory.
Yeah, you say way out. That's like 10 minutes from downtown.
I don't leave. Eric Shulo says, hey, Moan, how long until Broderick Jones becomes a starter at left tackle?
That's tough to say because Dan Moore ain't going out without a fight. The longer he waits, the better your team is. I'll say that. If Dan Moore doesn't get in automatically, then, I mean, if Broderick Jones doesn't get in automatically, that means Dan Moore is having a good season. That doesn't mean that's a knock on the young fella, Broderick Jones. It just means that everybody's picked up their play. They've created a room, a building, a team full of competition right now, y'all.
Fishing for Trout wants to come see our headquarters down here, wants to know where you should park. Right there, dude.
Right across the street.
Park across the street. Just make it quick, you know?
Yeah.
Because things are pretty much back to normal down here, which means, there are tickets and so forth. That said, we also have all kinds of garages around here as well. And the parking is not that expensive.
I got one. You ready?
Yep.
Who's the funniest coach?
Go ahead.
Easily, Danny Smith.
Yeah. Nonstop. Even when he doesn't mean to be.
No, he is a hilarious human being. Coach T got some comedian in him also. Who else was? When you got Coach Mitch going, he'd be like chastising guys, but it's funny in his delivery if you on the other side of it, not the receiving end of it. DK.
Mm-hmm. Brady wants to know how far from PPG. I don't know if you mean the arena or if you mean PPG's world headquarters here. If you mean the world headquarters, like the skyscrapers, we're like a block and a half from there. It's downtown, man. There's nothing very far from anywhere else here. Bob Schreiner wants to know, what if we see Broderick Jones at right tackle if Dan Moore holds his ground?
Nah. I don't think so. I think we kind of overthinking this. If Broderick is close as Dan Moore, then Broderick Jones will play. What you have right now, though, is a trade asset, if necessary, or depth. It's just as simple.
Yeah, Ryan says, hey, Mo, just want to say you and DK are appreciated for giving this East Tennessee guy something to do each afternoon. Other way around, man.
Yeah.
Other way around, Ryan. You've been a big part of this little community that we're building here. Eddie Harlow says Chooks isn't going anywhere. Well, let's see what Chooks has to show to that end. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Absolutely.
Brady's bringing up that it's the arena that he meant, not the headquarters. I mean, we're both on Fifth Avenue. The arena's in that direction. It's exactly an 11-minute walk, and I make that all the time.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's like a 5-minute drive depending on traffic, right?
Well, yeah, it's easier to walk it. Yeah, it's exactly 11 minutes.
Yeah.
This one is from Antonio Jackson, who says, hey, Moan, who should be the next to go in the Steelers Hall of Honor?
Hall of Honor? Geez, we just spoke about guys getting their just due, didn't we?
Yeah. Let me call up the list.
Ike.
I mean, there's still a long way to go with that thing.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if people, this thing is not a completed process by any stretch, even though they put a lot of different people in the first couple of years, because there were certain guys that you just couldn't leave out of a first ballot.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? I'm looking through this list here, and it looks like there's already about 40 in there, but I guarantee you, those were kind of the automatics.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in the Hall of Fame, you're going to be in the Hall of Honor.
I know, and Pittsburgh got a big number.
So you just start there, and you've got a big number, right?
Yeah.
So
who's next due up? I'm gonna say I can say a name, but I'll probably be leaving somebody out. The one that comes to mind that I played with for sure is not in the Hall of Fame and probably won't. Pittsburgh loves him. Is Ike. Is Troy on it yet, or Troy just had to get in the Hall of Fame first and then he get the Hall of Honor?
Troy is in.
Okay.
Yeah. The guideline is that you have to be retired for at least 3 seasons. You must have played for the Steelers for a minimum of 3 seasons, and of course, you should be good.
Yeah, exactly. So what is defined as good? Because I know fans hate certain guys, but we as teammates love them as players and as people. Like it's a fine line on who is and who isn't sometimes, I feel like.
I think the next wave that you're going to see here is going to be from the 2009 Super Bowl, the 2005 to 2009 Super Bowl champions. But I'll give you an example right now of a name that's not on here, and sure as hell will be, is James Harrison.
James Harrison.
Okay, so how long's Debo been down?
Debo's been he's been before me, so he's 3+.
So that'll be. I think that's going to be the best answer that you can get on that.
I'm seeing Jason Gilden's name come up numerous times over here.
Yeah, and stuff like this, like Carnell Lake is what you were just getting at. That right there is okay. You say, okay, Carnell Lake. What about Levon Kirkland? Okay, Pounce is an obvious one. Pounce we're going to be talking about for something else here.
I like Willie Parker. Another one, was it long enough considering the running back position? I mean,
sure.
So
look at the role he played in an actual ring.
I know, especially those ring teams too.
That counts. The Steelers girl wants to know if you can see the Hall of Honor when you go to a game. I got better news for you than that. You can see it anytime you want. The Steelers now have a museum that's open to the public that's right next to their pro shop on the side of Acrisure Stadium that faces PNC Park.
Yep.
I don't think a lot of people realize that. They think that it's kind of closed or something.
No, the stadium for the most part is open too. You can shop there. Dr.
Shadow wants to know if an injury to a teammate ever affected your play on the field.
Pounce and Shea. Pounce and Shea's there. AB getting knocked out like that also. Seeing that.
People forget that.
That was brutal, man.
He looked like he's lying there motionless.
Yeah, I was around with some of those, big hits that James Harrison delivered to Cincinnati Bengals and Cleveland Browns too. I had to see those and have to wonder, do we as a team have a target on our back, DK? Because you get one of their players, or you have the reputation of knocking folks out, they come for you too. So yeah,
that's a very fair thing here. Before anybody goes too far on these Hall of Honor things here, I'm seeing a complaint here already that LC Greenwood isn't in. He's in.
LC's in.
Yeah.
And also it says Ferrier's already in.
Yeah, we didn't mention Ferrier.
I thought I did, or somebody did mention.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It said Ferrier and Foot. Foot has a real strong case to be in too, DK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kerry says, hey, Moan, I've heard Mike Tomlin talking about Shazy's injury. Emotional to listen to, how hard it is to play on straight after that. It wasn't straight after. There was a pretty good delay.
That was I actually thought it was going to end the game. I thought the game was over. There's no way we can go out. Guys crying, breaking down, both sides of the stadium, not having an idea what was going on too. Seeing the ambulance roll out there. Hey, it really is.
Not only did the game go on, but it was a spectacular game.
It was.
Remember?
It was.
And a lot of people don't remember because of everything that happened, but it was the most dramatic finish and everything. Another one of those games that you stole.
Yeah, we did.
From them on their field.
I'll say this, though. I think that game affected them way more than it affected us, though, too. Because at least for the O-line, D-line interaction, Their guys were just more or less just like, all right, let's just get through this. They were that way more than we were. It was kind of weird. It was a weird ending.
Yeah. Yeah. Darren Watt wants to know if we just got through a whole week without a Matt Canada reference. Well, we did.
We did.
We had.
So
and then you had to come along.
Yeah, come on, Darren. As good as you are, man, you give it and you take it right back away, man. We didn't have to do this right before camp's supposed to start. Last Friday, without football for the next 6+ months.
You know what? That is so the best way to look at this particular program.
Yep.
You know, it really is.
Last Friday without football for the next 6+ months.
And here's the last question of the last Friday without football. It comes from Luke, who says, what was the worst field to play in condition-wise? This one's a little easy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I got one for sure. Hall of Fame game?
Hall of Fame game?
Hall of Fame game.
I thought you would mention the Jets or it was the Dolphins at home.
Dolphins at home.
Remember,
pretty.
It looked like the surface of the moon.
But you know, you don't talk about Heinz Field, Lee, like that. It was almost like, hey, don't mention it, don't say it. It was always that. And I was close to the grass guys too. But this was another one when they were in Oakland. Terrible.
Even the infield.
The infield.
You were sliding all over the place.
Or even when they put the dirt down, it was even worse. Like, because the dirt wasn't adhering to the ground the way they needed it to.
Because it wasn't dirt, it was sand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was sand, which is so much worse.
Yes, it was. They were pretty bad. I'm trying to think of another one. Green Bay wasn't beautiful in December. It was terrible.
The tundra.
It was terrible. The ground was soggy. They got like threaded fake grass in the ground with real grass also. Theirs was bad in December. Those are my three. Hall of Fame game, Green Bay, and then Oakland when they were a team.
Good stuff here. Mark Cunningham says another great show. It's been a really good week here, actually.
Solid.
And that is thanks to the people who are watching and participating, driving.
Yeah, exactly.
Who would win a dance-off is the best question of the week between Hines and AB.
Yeah, why are they fighting?
In the fight.
Yeah, why are they fighting?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a better question, Jax. That's a better question. Who I got? I got Hines. I think he's a little bit more smooth.
Ooh, see, this time I'm taking AB.
What?
Yeah, this time I'm taking AB. Yeah, AB's got moves.
Yeah. Well, Hines just seems smooth, though. I got Hines.
All right, guys. We will hook up again on Monday.
Yeah,
we will be talking football. And better yet, we will be heading hard into real and actual football.
Yes, we will. I got this one, too. Best rookie talent show, I guess. Cresden Butler. Ain't even close.
Wow.
Cresden Butler. Not even close. He did by far the best imitation of Coach Tomlin. I almost thought he was going to get fired. It was so good. It was that good. Oh, yeah, he was there. And he was just looking like, oh, my, you can't be talking about me in a laughing manner.
Oh,
everybody to a man thought Cresden Butler was going to get fired because he mocked Coach T that good, DK. It was good.
Eyes, the whole thing.
Oh, my gosh. The hat on his head, the head down when he talked to you and everything. Oh, it was great.
Wow.
Cresden Butler, by far
really
one of
good
the
stuff.
best to do it. Yeah, no, I can't do the impression either, Brady.
Carl Ebersole gets us closed off here for the day by becoming a member. Thanks to everybody. You can do that after the show, too. Just go to dkps.net/join. And that's it, right, Moan?
That's it, man.
All done.
All done. Camp starts up next week.
Yep, we got nothing else.
That's it. There's no reason to stick around, y'all.
Yep, bye.
Here's another verse.
Glare on it. What does it say?
It says, it's Proverbs 27:17.
Oh.
Iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpen another. This is the ultimate camp verse. This is what camp is about. Iron sharpening iron. And this one's really good. It's in my office too. It's
Where'd
just a life.
Where'd you get that?
My neighbor actually gave it to me. A Steeler fan. He also played at the University of Tennessee. George, man, he gave this to me. He was like, I think you like this one right here. And I was like, yeah, I do. Iron sharpen iron.
You were very, very quick with that answer.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my guy too, man. He's such a good dude. But this is another one. But this is what camp is all about.
It is iron sharpening iron is it, because if you're not pushing hard, the guys around you aren't going to get any better either. You just got to keep it clean. You got to keep the heads cool.
And keep it on the field. That's all that matters. You got to understand, whatever somebody else's motor is, you better match it or get pushed over, but never take it personal. That's one thing Cam and I learned about each other, because that was a sticky competition. It's just, hey, I know how you work. You know how I work. Let's just do this thing and go back to the locker room safely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mark Cunningham says, will you all still do the show while I'm in Latrobe? Yeah, we're going to pull it off.
Yeah,
we're going to pull it off. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Monday.
Last day. Yep. No football.
That's right. Bye.
See you.
All right.